Hello, this wipe I will be taking on Rustoria Main as a solo. My goal is to take over the launch site. This will eventually lead to me getting raided by a group of over 30 players in their team. Here is a quick preview of what's to come. Oh my god! No way. No way. Before spoiling too much, let's get straight into today's video. A quick PSA before I start. All of my OBS settings reset and I didn't catch it until I was editing this video. So all of my sound filters were off, making my keyboard very loud in the video. I apologize for this inconvenience and will have it fixed by the next video. Hello. Welcome back, guys. We are gonna do the same thing as always. Control the server, get loaded, get raided. That's the goals anyways. I'm a little bit late and I will be a little bit later. I'm gonna see if I could get base down quickly before I end up having to leave for a few hours. If not, unfortunate, we will come back later to set up the base. I have roughly a half hour before I have to go. Let's see. We are on one of the highest pop, most competitive, official vanilla Rust servers. So yeah, let's see what we can get into.
Before getting into today's video, I would like to invite you to join my Discord server. Here I will notify you when I've uploaded new videos. I have a list of settings I use in Rust. You can chat with me and suggest new ideas you would like to see in videos. As well, I have a membership program where I post base tutorials and Rust tips. The link will be in the video description.
Nice. I was hoping to get enough cloth for a bag before I entered the snow, but it's getting a little bit scary, so I'm just gonna start going through the snow. If the top of this hill isn't taken, I might go here. I actually kind of like this spot. Let's see how the build radius is, but it actually looks quite desirable. Wow, I'm surprised nobody's built here. I think I have to. I'm at least gonna get a starter down here. I really like this spot. Very nice. Rust 2 is one of the fastest ways to get real intel on Rust players before the fight even starts. The main attraction is how quickly you can search a player and instantly pull up useful info, like historical server bans, banned reasons, banned dates, stored names, and estimated hours. Instead of guessing who you're dealing with, Rust 2 gives actual context in seconds, and that makes it so useful. Before you could trust a teammate, find a roamer, scout a target, or look into a recruit, you can already know way more than the average player. But Rust 2 doesn't stop there. If you want to go deeper, Premium gives you access to things like private hours, tracked playtime, activity patterns, and advanced player insight that can actually help during a wipe. Search free now at rust2.com. Okay, we have our TC down. Door on the base. Now let's we gotta go out. We'll look for a bear or something. I need a bag before I go, or else I'm gonna have to make this run again, and that would be less than ideal. But we do have base up. We have it in a nice spot. We just have to hope that in the few hours that I'm gone, that nobody comes over and builds next to me, because that would be unfortunate. Go ahead and take it over. Ooh, a wolf. That might be enough for a bag, I'm pretty sure. It is. And it's enough for leather gear. Okay, that's huge. Thanks to the wolf, I was able to get enough cloth for a bag. As well, I got enough leather to make leather gear. So now, with a bag down, I was able to head into launch site without the worry of dying and not being able to respawn. Oh my. Alright, I have 0 BPs on this server, so if I actually get this over to the base, that is insane. I promise you that is not scripted. I'm on Rustoria Main, so it's like 900 pop right now with a 100 Q or something like that. That's so good, dude. Finding this Tommy was crucial. As I said, I had no BPs on the server, so now with that, the moment I got a workbench level 2, I'd be able to research the Tommy and craft it, being able to rush weapons. They are taking Brad, wow. Okay, and we're out. Looks like he's just pushing up. Another gun. That was nice. Wow. That is our 3rd fragment. No. After this death, it was time that I had to leave. It was approximately 2.5 hours into the wipe, and I had played for around 30 minutes. But I had a calc exam that I had to take, which would last around 3 hours. So I had to hope that in the time that I was gone, I would be unrated when I got back. I'm back, guys. I just failed a calculus exam, but we're unrated, so you know, looking on the bright side or whatever. Let's see if it's turning day or turning night. Just turned day. Beautiful. No neighbors? No neighbors. Well, it looks like there's at least some good things. Well, ooh, that dude's ice pick farming. So how fast he was breaking that? I want his ice pick. I want it now. Alright, I think like our main goal is going to be getting a work branch level 2. And then once we have a workbench level 2, we'll start working on other things. Looks like Mr. Farmer's about to get smoked by a Tommy kid. Oh wait, no, he's over here. Yeah, so we'll just sit and launch, get a level 2, and then we'll get our money up after that. It looks like the guys in the water are getting pretty active. Love to see it. Built up their base a little bit. Interesting. Upon returning, I noticed that the neighbors in my area had well progressed past me. So, to try and catch up to my area, I needed to sit in launch site, getting the last 2 blueprint fragments that were remaining for me to craft a level 2 workbench. Once I crafted a level 2 workbench, I would be able to craft Tommies, thanks to the Tommy I'd found on the floor earlier into the wipe. What is that kid doing? Look at him. New AI. Interesting. Ooh, G-door. Ooh. I haven't heard anyone move since he died. No way, I just finished the guy I killed the first time. Nice. We need to go back to the base ASAP. Okay, so the guy's a little blind. Good to know. Oh! I know who that is, bruh. I know who that is. By this point, I was starting to accumulate a good amount of loot. However, my base was extremely underdeveloped, as I've been solely focusing on getting a level 2 workbench. Being that I only needed 1 more fragment, I didn't want to lose all the loot I had in my base, so I decided to farm up a little bit to expand it to a more defendable state, just in case I were to get raided. With the farm that I had acquired, I was able to finish 3 out of the 4 externals on my base. Unfortunately, the fourth one wasn't able to get completed at this moment, as due to the terrain, it wasn't letting me place the foundations. I would have to get creative with what I wanted to do with this external, but for the time being, I would leave it undone as I didn't have the materials to work with it. Yes, sir. After consistently running launch site, I was finally able to get the fifth and final fragment that I needed to craft my workbench. With it, I was able to also craft up a weapon so that I could finally defend myself. These guys want. Bruh. So lame, dude. So lame. As it turns out, this P2 guy isn't part of the same two guys that were crouching up on me while I was trying to build my base. He managed to kill both of them. To you, this might look like a regular interaction, but after playing this game for so many hours, you're able to tell when something isn't right. This guy seemed a little suspicious to me. After further review, I was able to check his profile. That is when it was obvious to me that he was cheating. And he was. He has 200 hours. 20 in the last 2 weeks. Who would have guessed? As it turns out, I was right. After a little while, he eventually got banned. However, his loot and my loot were never to be seen again. Gotta hope this is the last door though. There's another uncooked. I have low grade like that. Well, it could have gone better, I guess. Unfortunately, this group sat here and camped until the demolish timer ran out, so I waited them out and then dropboxed all of the loot out. Alright, we have some major issues. Our neighbors just took down heli. If they get boom, our base is cooked. And I'm not too sure what the play is here. All it takes is 2 C4 rocket crates and I have all my loot. Feeling extremely vulnerable, I decided to start farming and hard focusing on getting my base up. For the next couple hours, all I did was farm and build to ensure that if I were to get raided, I would at least have a fighting chance at winning. After getting my base to a position where I felt comfortable leaving again, I headed over to the launch site to take Bradley for the first time today. I haven't taken Bradley from this side in a long time, so we're about to see if I still got it or not. It's actually kind of huge. Wow, that's an insane first crate. Equally good second crate. Well, I didn't get countered, but I would say that's actually a really good Bradley. L9 bolty and a bunch of good attachments. We will definitely take that. After Bradley, I headed over to the Arctic research base. I still needed advanced fragments for a level 3 workbench, so if I got a red card, I could run the launch puzzle. That was a little scary, I won't lie. Oh my god. After getting the red card, I headed over to launch to begin running the puzzle. Wow, that's so bad. That's not any better. Ooh, that is what we'd like to see. All is well that ends well. Wow. That's insane, dude. That was not at me. Wow, dude. That is such a good, like 2 for 2 on really good Bradleys. We will take that any day without a doubt. M2C4, 2 single armored doors. 100% we'll take that. It was getting late and I was ready to head to bed, but I wanted to take Bradley one last time before getting off. Oh no, I did, okay. Cute. Once again, there's very few counters to the Bradley, but for it being wipe day, I would definitely take uncontested Bradleys, getting to sack up some good tier 3 loot. I spent the next hour doing some finishing touches to my base before eventually calling it for the night. To begin day 2, I headed back over to launch site to begin running the puzzle, trying to get the last remaining fragments that I needed to get a workbench level 3. Wow, those crates sucked. Yes, sir. That's what I like to see. After getting my level 3, I PvP'd around the area a bit, trying to stack up kits in case I were to get raided. Alright. I'm gonna go attempt to online one of my neighbors. They're in just like a simple 2x2 with a roof entrance jump up. But I saw them run in with like 3 full kits, and one of them was shooting Benelli. So I'm gonna give it a try. We know what happens whenever I raid people who have Benelli though, so I am definitely a little bit nervous here. That's their base right there, that 2x2. There's an Arctic suit on the outside over there, which I don't know if it's one of them or not. Okay, I think that Arctic guy's door camping them because he's crouching up to their base. Yeah, okay, there's people on the roof right now, so it looks like something's definitely about to go down there. I need to be careful though. There's a Scrappy coming. Oh, they're about to get raided by the Scrappy, I bet. I might just hide my boom and counter it. My original plan was to full send online this trio that lived next to me, but it seems another group was beating me to the punch. Instead of leaving, I decided I would stash my boom and then head over and see if I couldn't counter and get any loot out. Yeah, they are getting raided. They are a few friends deep though. And I didn't bring a lot of ammo. Damn, they just beamed that guy. I regret not bringing enough ammo. I think I could have actually done some serious work there if I brought ammo. I quickly depoted and headed back to see if there was more loot that I'd be able to get out. By the time I had gotten back, the base owners had retaken control of their base, so I grabbed this AK kit and my backpack that had all the boom in it and headed back to base. Nice. Okay. Sadly, I didn't have much time to play on day 2, so I spent the majority of the time that I did have working on my base, hoping to get it to a very defendable position for when I eventually was to get raided. Holy shit. I think we are getting raided. Well, not I think, we definitely are getting raided. What am I aiming at? That is not ideal. My original plan was to try and slow them down from taking control and establishing their raid base. However, I noticed that they were significantly deeper than I was. This meant that by fighting them to slow them down, I would only be slowly running myself out of resources. So I decided to wait until they began rocketing to fight back, to preserve the resources I had for the actual raid. Oh my god, it is, man. Yeah. At all. Oh, rocketed. Oh, is it time? I think it's happening. There's no way they're actually taking my external right now, right? They are taking my external. Oh, there's one on my roof, dude. By this point, I was starting to slowly lose control. The original plan was they blew into the bottom of my shell. However, they started to quickly realize that most of my respawns and my loot was up top. And with the MLRS, it had completely destroyed the turrets and most of the functions of my roof, meaning I had fully lost control over it. Now, with the control of my roof, they were able to shoot at me in my shooting floor. I needed to retake the top of my base before I had any chance of winning this. No way. Having regained control of my open core, I needed to quickly move as much of the kits and boom down as I possibly could so that they wouldn't be able to use it against me when they eventually re-blew into the open core. Hates you for, holy. Oh my god. No. Oh, I almost had it.
Pick me up!
No way he drops with the C4. Nice. Wow. That's a bad look. He body blocked it. By this point, I was making my last stand. I lost the entire top portion of my base. They had taken control of my China wall and had the control of the bottom of my inner peaks. Now I was fighting for the top of my inner peaks and trying to retake control of it. If I lost the top of my inner peaks, I would have nothing to defend from. I'd be totally defenseless while they blew through the rest of the doors on my base. They're breaking the shotgun traps. Very not good. Okay. That's good. No way. I fought hard, but in the end, I lost. Eventually, I ran out of respawns and kits. No matter how many I killed or how many times I sealed, there were always more people and more boom. I want to thank the raiders for the online. This group intentionally raided me when they knew that I was online. Not many groups these days play like that, so thank you to Tired and his group. I want to thank all of you for making it to the end of the video and for watching. And I'll catch each and every one of you in the next one. Peace.